Hey, you busy? Mm-mm. Okay, let me run something past you real quick. I don't know if you know this about me or not, but I'm an encouraging kind of grandbaby. Mm-hmm. Like if we was the Smurfs, I would be encouraging Smurf, but I would spell it or shorten it. It would be better because it just would have to be the best Smurf name. Just, in my part of Smurfville. Uh but real talk, the gift of encouragement is kind of a twofold thing. It not only helps others, which is my jam, but it also every now and again boomerang back and it helps me. And I was having just some quiet time with God and just exploring myself, just where I'm at emotionally, spiritually, all the things. And something kind of arose in my spirit, and I was like, I want to share that with you because we've gotten to that part of our relationship. Okay, because we're not gossiping. That's exactly why I call you, because who'll be gossiping won't be us. Eh, just flow with me. So much going on that I'm like, I don't know any other way to flow outside of just my heart. I have gotten to this place in life that I'm in a posture of go get it. Go get it. Where it's so eerily, it's a new place that I've been. Like I've been here before, or I have at least got the postcard from this location before where I will be on the brink of something and I could either choose one or two lanes. I can go ahead and psych myself out of it because of all the things I'm thinking about and the what ifs and the I'm not ready's and I don't have yets and all of that. Or I could say, well, Jesus, if that's you, tell me to come on the water with you on some Peter style, right? And every now and again, that whelp lane causes me to do I gotta like charge up and then and get it and don't give myself enough time to really like, did you factor in that Goliath is 9 feet? Did you factor in that you doing this in open toe sandals? Like, did you factor in like there's no time to filter, right? That's why I think the Bible says that David was like, he ran across the hills swiftly. Because if he had time to filter through, I don't think that we would have known him as King David. I honestly don't believe that. But I've gotten to that point where I was able to hurry up and just go through and then look and be like, hey, it did work out, didn't it? You went in there and asked for that promotion? What made you do that? Just felt led. I didn't even give myself time to be like, but you haven't been at the company but this amount of time, and you haven't proven yourself, and what if they I listen, I'm walking in the office and I'm pitching what God told me to say. Like, what you want me to do? I don't know. I just you went in there and was like, well, let's go ahead and apply for this and see what happened. Yeah, I did. And nothing in you was like, but what about the 5-year plan? It was like, I submitted a plan to God, and next thing I know, He said to do it this way. So it don't make, I don't know. And so I've had those moments. I can look back tangibly and see those moments still in my life. Like, oh my gosh. And you make those your little Hebrew 11, your little personal wall of faith, or you're like, that's the time that one job and I didn't have that much to get back, but I went ahead. And those are beautiful moments. But now I've come to the place that I want to make it a lifestyle. I don't want moments of great abundance anymore, moments of great faith, moments of big leaps of faith. I don't want moments anymore. I want to make it a lifestyle. And so, what I found myself saying to myself lately, I asked the question because I'm always keeping 100 with myself. I asked, are you afraid? And then the question that followed that was, so wait, are you no longer afraid? And I answered that within myself by saying yes and yes. It's not that there is an absence of fear or an absence of nervousness or an absence of questions. It's just that I've arrived to the place in my life that those inquiries won't stop my steps. it won't stop me progressing. It won't stop me from getting to the next level. It will not stop me from doing whatever I feel is needed, however I feel led to get it. It won't stop me. And I truly have gotten to the place that it feels like this. I have seen what it was like to yield to certain things, not pursuing certain things, not knowing what will be an ideal situation for myself, having the plan, having the idea, having the heart's desire, and yielding to that because of whatever people put after the comma. Because you got kids now, because you're this old now, because you already been in that company for that long now. Well, who's going to hire you with no whatever the accolade you think is hireable? Like, whatever you put behind the comma is the very thing that you decided to be the reason as to why you yield to getting to the other side. Like, I truly have gotten to the place that I said, I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not yielding anymore. I cannot absolutely truly and authentically live this life and not say that, yo, I at least tried. Like, yo, you seen what it is to be on the boat. At least see what it's like to go out there with Jesus. At least go out there and try to, like, I don't know, you've been at the entry level once. Why don't you just go out and just see what happens when you apply to different things? You've seen that part of town before. You've seen this part of whatever before. You've seen it before. Why you owe it to yourself to see another side of the coin? You gonna live this entire life just on one side? At least back in the days when there was tape cassettes, and I'm aging myself, but God bless me, it was side A and side B. It's like, yo, turn the CD, turn the cassette around. Do something different. Because I look at it like this. If you're going to have this one life, right? If this is the one life you're going to live, we're only going to live it in one lane. And then dare see people expanding in their lane with probably less than what we have. But they have way more tenaciousness, way more bravery, way more exuberance, whatever it is that they have. It's like, yo, you are excelling in the lane that I desire to be in, but I don't have your tenacity. I don't have your courage. And so I'm going to just sit here and yield in my safety in a place that's not yielding what's in my heart. Because my thing is this. If you are technically playing it safe, but every single element of you playing it safe is truly your heart's desires, then I don't find that to be safe. I find that to be you have found the coordinates to your happiness. You have found the coordinates to your Garden of Eden, and you might as well just go ahead and continue to build real estate there. Why not? Maintain what God, after God went ahead and built Eden and did all the things in the garden, he was like, all right, now let me put the man here and let me go ahead and have him, there's no vegetation yet because there's no one to come and till the land. So let me just have the man come here and, just do all the things to maintain what I built for him. No, Adam didn't have to be born and be like, okay, so how can I go ahead and build more Edens? And, what if I go ahead and just build a whole nother empire over here? No, he already reached utopia. He already reached his paradise. Now all he had to do was maintain that. But God saw that there was something missing. He was like, it's not good for him to be alone. I don't think he don't look the happiest, do he? He don't look happy? Yeah, we should go ahead and add something to him. So it's not that he had to change his location. He didn't even have to change his vocation. But he did have to change who he was paired to. When all the animals was brought to him and it was like, that's not really it. God was like, I know. And I don't want you to stop naming these animals. I don't want you to stop being authentically you and doing authentically what I told you to do. But what I do want you to do is be honest if you feel like, this is not it. And so when he couldn't find anything that looked remotely close to, okay, this could be a helpmate for me, God was like, well, let me create something different in a new way so you can have a new experience. Lay down, go to sleep. Let me take this rib and let me do something. And when you wake up, I'll know for sure if this was along the lines of what you were desiring. Adam woke up and was like, bro, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Yes, sir. her. Okay, God, I'm seeing you and I'm seeing her and I want to know her. Okay, sir, I'm going to take over here. I'm going to know her a little bit. If that's okay. All right. You made it for me. Okay, great. And I just feel like I'm so glad that that was the first illustration of not settling. I'm so glad that it didn't look like, you going to stay in that garden? He's still in the garden that God made him. No, he's not in his mother's basement. No disrespect to the grandbaby who still are, hey, grandbaby, but it is what it is. Don't let anyone make you feel like the place that you've identified as this is great, but there can be some additions to it that will make it better. Yeah, sometimes it's not as grandiose as you moving all the way over there or you changing your particular career path. Sometimes it's not even bold, big moves. Sometimes it's just something simple like, hey, I think I've achieved the coordinates of success that I want to achieve, and I think I would like somebody to come here with me. Yeah, everybody's story is different. That's why you got to stay true to yourself. I always said this, and it's worth repeating. I'm so glad he didn't get to a particular animal and was like, yeah, this is okay. Because I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I don't want anything that can't speak like me and eat like me, and like it would have been really weird trying to commune with something and be one with something that is just so foreign to me. So I'm glad that he didn't make that a whole thing, because like no pressure, Adam, but you're setting the premise for forevermore. Okay, for this reason, a man will leave his house. Like, yeah, you said you was the first marriage. It's a lot of first. So I'm so glad you were not the first. That's your first sin. I hate that you sinned at all, but I'm glad that his first sin wasn't settling. Ah, so much in that we can unpack for 15 hours, but I'm not going to do this for hours. But my thing of the matter is, if you can experience utopia, if you can experience something different, if you've even sense an inkling of like God trying to do something different in me, through me, for me, to me, go get your blessing. Stop letting past situations and maybe decisions that you made on a different operating system and the time in your life. Who knows if your brain was all the way developed? Who knows if you were still dealing with some wounds that weren't all the way healed in your soul? Who knows if you was kind of dealing with some of your ancestors' passed down situations and whatever they didn't heal from? Who knows? But don't let that be the sole purpose why you like, I think I'm going to just go ahead and be okay with Egypt. Really? And in your heart somewhere that God is like, I've really got the promised land for you. Like, it's so much abundance I have for you. Like I literally said in John 10:10, the thief comes to steal, kill, destroy, but I came so that you may have life and life more abundantly. You're going to read abundantly and go, yes, but no thank you, Egypt, please. Really? You the only... You sure you want to be the only person that kind of thinks that way? But you know what the sad part is? The majority thinks that way. I think it's actually the smaller number of people are thinking promised land flow. And I had to just really just get into myself and ask, what holds people back from going to get their blessing? And you would say, oh yeah, it's fear. But sometimes I feel like it's the picture that you painted about what comes once you go ahead and accumulate and ascertain what God has for you. I want to read literally a part of the Israelite experience that doesn't really get a lot of shine, in my opinion, but it gives a lot of insight to why they moved the way that they did. Mind you, these people they didn't come from a long line of blessings. They came from a long line of enduring. So when it was time to go ahead and actually assume and possess the land, all they knew was how to endure something that was uncomfortable. Now that you're saying, now go fight for something that's going to lead for continual internal blessing, like seriously, your generation will be changed forever. Like when you painting this kind of picture to people who are not used to that picture being painted for them, it's almost like, yeah, bow face. So I want to go ahead and read actually Numbers. Exodus is one of the plagues and stuff happens, but Numbers 13. And I actually want to read this because this is the portion where they actually went out to go spy the land. And so if you were to read Numbers 13 real quick, like just skim through it, read your Bible, that's between you and the Lord. If you were to just go to verse 23, it says, when they came back to the valley of Eshcol, they cut down a branch with a single cluster of grapes so large that it took two of them to carry it on a pole between them. They also brought back samples of the pomegranates and figs. Pause. So these folks was like, yo, they're not going to believe us. We got to go ahead and take back some fruit. It's going to be heavy. I know we're coming back with things we didn't come here with, but we have got to show these people that what God said is true. Like, yo, like, seriously, we need to. So then when they went back to go give the report, let's watch the mindset of the Israelites. So I want to let's just start at 25. After exploring the land for 40 days, the men returned, 26, to Moses, Aaron, and the whole community of Israel at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran. They reported to the whole community what they had seen and showed them the fruit they had taken from the land. 27. This was their report to Moses. We entered the land you saw us explore. You sent us to explore. And it is indeed a bountiful country, a land flowing with milk and honey. Here is the kind of fruit it produces. 28. But the people living there are powerful, and their towns are large and fortified. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. 29. The Amalekites live in Negev, and the Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the hill country. The Canaanites live along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and along the Jordan Valley. 30. But Caleb tried to quiet the people as they stood before Moses. Let's go at once to take the land, he said. We can certainly conquer it. 31. But the other men who had explored the land with him disagreed. We can't go up against them. They are stronger than we are. 32. So they spread this bad report about the land among the Israelites. The land we traveled through and explored would devour anyone who goes to live there. All the people we saw were huge. 33. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. Next to them, we felt like grasshoppers, and that's what they thought too. But next chapter, Numbers 14. Verse 1. Then the whole community began weeping aloud, and they cried all night. 2. Their voices rose in a great chorus of protest against Moses and Aaron. If only we had died in Egypt or even here in the wilderness, they complained. 3. Why is the Lord taking us to this country, only to have us die in battle? Our wives and our little ones will be carried off as plunder. Wouldn't it be better for us to return to Egypt? 4. Then they plotted among themselves. Let's choose a new leader and go back to Egypt. Pause. Do you see the problem? It's one thing to go there and measure yourself up against what you think is your competition and go, woo, y'all a little tall, ain't it? How tall are you? 12 feet. Praise God. Let's go home. Like, yeah, I can see how that could be a little, I'm not going to try to act like I'm the most courageous grandbaby, but I can see how that could be a little bit. But it's the fact that even with one of y'all saying like, nah, we can do it. Let's go, Israelites. Let's go. It was no clap, clap. It was no clap, clap. But that wasn't what the issue was. It was the fact that the report that was spread was we can't go against them. They are stronger than we are. Okay, so you're still comparing yourself. The land that we traveled and explored will devour anyone that lives there. All the people we saw were huge. Okay. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. Next to them, we felt like grasshoppers, and that's what they thought too. Okay, that's a little bit fishy, and that's a little bit of a failed mindset, and there may be some truth in it, but it looks like you added a little bit more sauce to the plate than it needed to be. But this is what really got them. They played the tape forward to their demise. Because Numbers 14 says in verse 2, their voices rose in a great chorus of protest against Moses and Aaron. If only we had died in Egypt or even here in the wilderness, they complained. Why is the Lord taking us to this country only to have us die in battle? Our wives and our little ones will be carried off as plunder. I'm sorry, pause. Who told you that? Who told you that the countries that, first of all, the land was going to go ahead and devalue you? That was number one. Number two, that this is you going to die in battle. And then number three, your wives and your little ones will be carried off as plunder. Who told you that? Isn't fear a carbon copy of faith? Isn't it so obvious that literally you only have two options in life? It's going to be for you to fear something that hasn't happened yet, or stand in faith for something that hasn't happened yet. And truly, you are deciding based upon your actions and your emotions which one you're leaning into. Is the kingdom of darkness going to get that one, or are you going to give that one to the kingdom of heaven? Yet, like, I'm sorry, did any of this happen yet? Did anyone get devoured when they went and lived there? No. Did y'all die in battle yet? No, you didn't even have to battle yet. Your wives and your little ones being plundered, carried off as plunder. It's like, yo, you just perverted your faith. Because you could have very well went ahead and tagged along with Caleb and said, all right, listen, if you believe that, I'm going to go ahead and tag my faith with yours. Because right now I'm feeling a little bit, just a little bit weak here. So would you say you feel like we can do it? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and possess the land that God gave us. We're going to go ahead and we're going to eat more of these grapes because it was good. Did y'all taste it? Did you have some? Yeah, it was good. So we're going to go ahead and that's going to be our permanency. This ain't going to be a little shop. We ain't just do this to just shop just real quick. This is going to be our lives. This is going to be where our children reside. We ain't come all this way to just be sitting here and just trying to figure out, okay, how we go back. Like, we're not doing any of that. Do you understand that these were the same Israelites that saw God part the Red Sea? This is the same Israelites that had manna, literally quail, that they saw some things that nobody ever will see again. They saw God's hand firsthand. They saw some things that it was like, yo, this is unbelievable. And they got to the edge of their promise. They got to the edge of what they can possibly see God do for them. They went ahead and explored it. They were able to tangibly be like, okay, it's there. And they allowed their mindsets to decide, yeah, no, I don't believe it. I would rather put my energy in believing that this is going to be against us. How? That doesn't make any sense. Didn't you see God split the Red Sea and Pharaoh was in it and he was done, him and his chariots and charioteers? Name a time that God failed you in this wilderness. Y'all did some stuff and God still was like, you know what? Y'all getting on my last nerve. But name a time that he failed you. Name a time that you got close to needing something and God didn't meet your needs. I mean, look down at the clothes that you're wearing. The Bible says that it didn't grow weary. And y'all haven't gone to a mall in any of these years. I was looking, I was reading. There was nothing being shopped for. So why is it that you are okay with making sure that fear plays against the very thing that God is trying to get to you? He wants to make you a wife. And you like, no, because I don't really have anybody in my family that really is happy like that. And I mean, I've been looking at these husbands and they not husbanding the way I be, because I feel like people be losing too much of themselves. And you went ahead and looked at everybody else's non-conquered land and said, oh, it's not going to work for me. Really? Why can't you be the first person in your family to do something different? Why can't you be the first person in your family to go ahead and be an entrepreneur? Why can't you be the first one in your circle group to do something that's not being done now currently in your circle group? Why have you talked yourself against what God is trying to give to you? That doesn't make any sense. So seriously, it's like, yo, you can't even blame it on fear no more. You just got to blame it on your mindset, how you see a thing. Like, yo, real talk, go get your blessing. Go get it. You heard the deaconesses. They said, go get your blessing. Go get, go get, go get, go get, go get. I mean, they did it. They was harmonizing, and you still not going to get it? How rude. They made a whole song for you. You understand? I mean, the audace. You understand? But like real talk, like really look, like get angry, like get something. Like, yo, they got close enough to spy out the land and still was like, I think Egypt is better. You know how long it's going to take you to get back to Egypt? Way longer than it would for you to just go ahead, about face and move forward and go get it. Like nothing in you was like, yo, I already seen what Egypt is like. Let me see what this promised land is hitting for. You understand? It's like, what part of you is so comfortable with laying dormant that you are comfortable not getting what God has for you? Something about that should be a little bit scarily off to you. Seriously. It's not the fact that they were like, you know what? I probably could have respected if they said, we just going to park right here. No, because you know what? It's not Egypt from what we had. We already have a report on that. And it's not the promised land. We're a little bit scared of going there. But if we could just rest right here, I think, well, we can make it. Yeah, we've done pretty good, right? Yeah, I think right here. But it was the fact that y'all were like, nah, this whole trip, everything that God has done, everything that I've seen God do in my life, everything that I've seen God do to the people who caused me harm, everything that I've seen that God was able to do that I couldn't even have imagined that God would be able to do. Like, bro, you splitting Red Seas in this dry land. The Pharaoh that I was afraid of, and I don't got to look over my shoulder no more because you made sure he was a wrap. He's sleepy right now. Like, God has done some things, and the very thing that God has done for me, I'm like, that's not enough. I'm going back to the very place that God delivered me from. Huh? Can you make that make sense a little? Nope, I don't even want you. Just how? How? So I just got to the place that I'm like, yo, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get it. And I know that it's not going to be absent of, oh, but what's going to happen? Find out when we get on the other side. On the next episode of On My Way to the Promised Land. Like, I am okay at this venture and juncture of my life with saying, I don't know, but God will show me when it's time. I don't know, but God will show me when it's time. Not really sure. But what I do know for sure is that this ain't it. This job ain't it. That relationship ain't it. Where you're currently living ain't it. Yeah, where you currently living is not a paradise. So you might as well. You understand? It's like, and for the scared grandbabies, I understand that mindset. So I even went a step further. I said, yo, give 6 months to doing something the way that God truly, how you would have it moved in your heart. Like, yo, quit the job, B. Oh, but you got bills. You always had bills since your first cell phone. Shut up. Yeah, that's good English. Shut up. How my 2-year-old baby used to say. Like, come on. Like, seriously? I want you to kind of write down the number that you bring in a month. Literally, and I'm telling you real talk on what I had to do. Real talk. Write down the number that you bring in after taxes and say, God, I need you to cover that because I'm getting ready to step out into the deep. The end. Yo, you can always get the job back. They're going to take your experiences from you. You mean to tell me once you quit the job, your resume just completely vanishes? Oh, so then your education is just a wrap? You mean to tell me if you took a break from dating that your social security number get deleted? Like, what is God asking you to lean into that you're like, honestly, I got to stay in Egypt because I got a mortgage now. No, God, you don't understand. I got to stay in Egypt a little bit longer now because I'm at the age where, like what excuse did you make for yourself that it just makes way more sense out of everything that God has done in your life, out of everything that he's trying to really show you that he wants to do and continue to do in your life? What have you done to convince yourself, I'm going to go back to Egypt, and not just to visit, to live there? Until when? Dot, dot, dot. Really? You'd rather go back to Buddy. You'd rather go back to being single. You'd rather keep doing things the way that you've been doing. Well, let me just ask you something. Let me get real close to the phone. How's it working for you? Hmm? Are you at your most utopic feeling, and when you do a 360 around your life, do you say, wow, God, this is the abundance that you said in John 10:10. You said life and life more abundantly, and here I am in abundance.com/me, grandbaby. Like, can you honestly say that? And if you dare say yes, and it's not your truth, it's going to lightning and thunder right where you are. And God bless you. That's between you and the Lord. But you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to say, I at least tried it. At least give it a little bit of Peter. At least Peter can say, I walked on water with Jesus. It wasn't for long though. it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't get past 6, but guess what? I walked. And when he started sinking, what happened? What did Jesus say to him? Why did you doubt me? So sinking has to do with what you're anchored in. He sunk because he was anchored in fear. I bet he would have continued to walk if he was anchored in Jesus. If he would have said, you're not sinking, so I'm not sinking. Because what did Peter ask him? He said, if that is you, tell me to come out to the water with you. So that means that if I come out here with you, I expect to look the way that you look on the water. Jesus, you not sinking, neither am I. Oh, are we doing a moonwalk? So am I. Oh, so you want to go deeper? Then let's go get it. But as long as you're doing it and I ask you to bring me out here to do what you're doing, I dare not experience something that you're not experiencing. I dare not have the storms and the waves scare me. You don't look afraid. So let me just keep looking in your eyes. Okay, Jesus, we just going to keep, okay, I'm going to hold your hand, pause, but I'm going to hold your hand. I'm a man too, but I'm going to hold your hand and we just going to be out here. But I dare not get back in this boat, not experiencing exactly what you experienced. So I dare not be in this life, not experiencing the abundant and life more abundantly. Like, I want the bun part. Yo, give me that. Can I have my order up? Yeah, I left my abundance here. No, I did a to-go order. Like, I'm going to get that because that's what he said that I'm supposed to have. And so I dare not live this life and be out here in these life streets and not have what Jesus said that is mine. He said, you ask for anything in my name, the Father will give it to you. Yes, you ask anything. You said it multiple times. That means you believe it. Oh, okay. So how dare you? How dare we? How dare us live a life anything less than? Why you not getting it? So what's my challenge to you? Bro, give it 6 months. Come on, big dog. Like, I want to say a year, but I know some, I get it. 6 months. 6 months to step out the boat. 6 months to say, God, I'm going to do it exactly the way I feel led to do it. And it's not going to probably make no sense to these people because everybody else is on the boat scared. But I'm going to quit this job. And it's not that I'm quitting my responsibilities. It's not that I'm quitting trying to make sure that I'm a good steward over the things that our bills and things of that nature, but I can no longer walk in this lane and hear and feel like I'm being led differently and starve myself of being in a different place because I decided to stay in the place that looks the most secure and safe. Security and safe is stagnation if God didn't place you there. Because when God placed Adam in Eden, he had everything he needed, and then God just added to him. But if you place yourself somewhere, you will always feel that lack. You will always feel the incomplete state. It will never feel fully furnished in your soul. why don't you just go ahead and for 6 months, just go do it. See what happens. Because I don't have that much saved up. My emergency fund. Bruh, you come on. Sound like Caleb. Sound like, yeah, we can do it. Sound like Caleb. Because you sound like, anybody who do that, they're gonna lose their fill in the blank. Like you sound like the rest of the Israelites. And so here you are, getting ready to wake up another day to go to work. Another place that doesn't feed you. To spend the bulk of your time doing the bulk of something that doesn't even feel worth your time. That your purpose is not even being really used to its fullest capacity. And here you are in traffic again, thinking about another way that life could be. Here you are in that relationship that's not going anywhere. And you're like, I know I haven't seen better, but it's like I can't let go of this eerie feeling that there is better. Why don't you just let go of the reins of Egypt and truly say to God, I want to see different. God is not even asking you to do anything huge. He's not even asking you to believe on a whole nother level of like, I'm all out. It's sold out. He's not even asking you to do nothing extracurricular. He's just saying, yo, you got faith size of mustard seed. And if he asked you to do something, then it will behoove you to do it. You know how you know that he asked you to do it? Because every time you think about it, you have an unwavering peace. As crazy as it sounds, it's like, you're going to quit your job. Like, yeah, I feel like it's interfering in my creativity. I feel like God can do something better. I feel like, really? You going to move over there? Yeah. Who you know over there? Not a lot of people. I ain't going to hold you. You going to sign up for that? But do you have all them? But God just told me, why don't you do the thing that God is telling you to do so you can achieve the thing that God has for you, that you can obtain the thing that God wants you to have? Why don't you just go get your blessing? Just go get your blessing. You're not going to sink. If you do, it was your doubt, Peter. They're not going to devour you because Joshua and them went and got it. So like all the things that you playing in your head like an Israelite, they're going to carry our wives away and our children will be plundered. It didn't even happen. It didn't happen. That's fear, counterfeited faith trying to hold you back. So what you need to do is go ahead to God and say, I feel like you're telling me to do this. And so, Jesus, if that's you, tell me to come out there with you. And I'm going to do exactly what I feel led to do. For additional measure, I'm going to write it down so that I'm clear and you're clear, God, that this is what I'm going to do. If at any point I'm getting ready to do something that don't look like you, please intervene and intercede as you always do, because my life is open to you. But this peace that I feel when I think about quitting this job, I'm going to do it. This peace and it's not a peace as if you're not nervous at all. There's no other alternate feeling. There's a peace of, man, that will be great. It's almost like saying, hey, I went ahead and I booked a spa appointment for you next Saturday. You see how you're not even there yet, but you were like, I need that. That's almost a replica of what you feel when God is leading you somewhere. To everybody else, it would be, but what if it's packed? And did you even budget for that? And you just got in your, I'm going to the spa. I feel like that's what my body's saying that I need. I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be going ahead and do. And if for whatever the reason I'm not supposed to go, then God will cancel the appointment. Something will come up. I don't know. But right now it feels like all arrows and roads lead to spa. When God is telling you to do something, that's what it feels like. It feels like, really? You crazy girl. crazy. But I'm peaceful about it. That's weird, right? That once you actually put the decision in motion, that you start to feel something in you blossom. So challenge summering it up. Go get your blessing. Mm-hmm. Go. The deaconesses has already said it. It's your time. And they were screaming it. It's your time. So like you need to listen to one of them. Okay? Because they was telling you. Okay? Go get it. I feel like you got what you needed though. Mm-hmm. You know these conversations are though, right? Right. Life-provoking conversations, conversations that not the average person's gonna have with you. But who your favorite homegirl? By this time you should be knowing all the things that she is doing. She, me, the grandbaby. I'm talking YouTube. Yes, very much. I'm talking Patreon, text, blogging, all the things. If you following anything, I mean, you should be following what she's doing because she actually said she's going to be doing all the things. www.created2multiply.com is going to be the place that's always going to be the place of all the things that I'm doing because I'm serious about this life. And I'm serious about this abundant life. I don't know what is happening. I don't know what's getting ready to happen, but I feel like God is literally like I was getting like the regular octane. I was going up to the fuel pump of life like, oh, I don't need that much. I just need $5. God was like, give her super premium and $50 on me. I was like, God, I don't need all that. He was like, yes, you do. We're going to stop playing it small. We're going to stop playing it safe. We're going to stop playing the oh, what ifs. And do you not see that the dashboard on your soul is like, I'm withering and I need to be in my purpose and I'm not happy. And this is not, and it's not happiness as, oh, happy is relative to the person. No, happiness is very much tied into your purpose. And when you're not serving in your purpose, then you are not being utilized. And so when you're not being utilized, your soul lays dormant. Go get your blessing. But you ain't about to have me talk you to tomorrow because every time I do, you text me like, my phone bill came. Okay, and that's between you and the Lord. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me go. We talk later, okay? Yes, we will. We always do. All right, later.